Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like, the stock market's speaking some kind of secret language? Like one you didn't get the dictionary for.
Yeah, right. You're not alone.
Like you walk in, you're at the poker table, and
Mm.
everyone else knows exactly what the other guy's holding.
Yeah.
Well, today, we're cracking that code. We're doing a deep dive into something a lot of you requested, stock market algorithms.
Oh, this is going to be good.
We found this really interesting YouTube video, this trader who calls himself the inner circle trader.
ICT.
Yeah, ICT. He breaks it all down.
And, this is a space where I think a lot of investors feel lost,
Totally.
So it's great to kind of unpack his strategies, see what we can learn.
Yeah, and he doesn't dumb it down either. He gets right into it. Like, he starts by walking us through his trading day.
Wow.
Like, no BS, just straight to the point. And he keeps using this phrase, the algorithm. But get this.
Okay.
He's not talking about some fancy software or anything.
All right.
No, he's talking about understanding the patterns, the behaviors of these high-frequency trading algorithms.
Yeah.
The ones the big institutions use,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
the ones moving millions of dollars every millisecond.
Exactly. It's like those algorithms, they leave footprints.
Right.
He's calling them the algorithm as this kind of shorthand, like he's almost personifying this force, this entity in the market.
Yeah, like it's this whole other player at the table.
Exactly. And his whole strategy, it hinges on anticipating its moves.
It's like learning to dance with a robot, right?
I like
You
it.
figure out its steps,
Yeah.
and then you can kind of lead the whole routine.
Mm.
And he even gets really specific. Like he pinpoints this time window, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., where he sees these algorithms like setting these opportunities. He calls it the 3 p.m. play, which I got to admit sounds kind of cool.
Right. It does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah, it's catchy.
So what's the why behind it? Why that specific time?
Well, he explains how these algorithms, they often create these like short-term price swings,
Right.
almost like ripples in a pond. You know?
I see.
And his strategy is all about knowing where those ripples are going to form before everyone else jumps in.
Oh, interesting. So he's not chasing the ripples, he's anticipating them.
Exactly. He's one step ahead. Like, picture this, right? ICT's on Twitter, okay? And there are thousands of people watching him.
No pressure.
Right. Thousands. And he predicts this whole rally, this specific price level that it's going to hit, then a drop. And get this, he nails it, like calls it live in front of everybody.
Whoa. Gutsy move.
I know.
And that public declaration, that's crucial.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. If he's wrong, everybody sees it.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
It adds this whole other level of pressure and credibility to his analysis.
Oh, totally. Stakes are high.
Mhm.
But here's where it gets even wilder. He goes on to explain how these algorithms, they're like sharks
Okay.
circling this feeding frenzy.
Sharks. Okay, I'm intrigued.
And they trigger these things called stop-loss orders.
Stop loss orders, right? All right.
Which, for anyone who's new to this whole thing, are basically these preset orders that'll automatically sell your stock if it drops to a certain price.
Okay, got it.
But the thing is, these stop-loss orders, they become like self-fulfilling prophecies.
Oh, how so?
Well, because the algorithms, they trigger this cascade of selling, right?
Oh, I see.
So everybody's selling, and that pushes the price down even further, just like ICT predicted.
It's like they're setting off this chain reaction.
Exactly.
And he's figured out how to light the fuse.
Right. But here's the thing that really stuck with me. He keeps saying it's not just about, staring at charts all day.
Really?
Yeah. He's all about, like, buy-side liquidity, sell-side liquidity. What even is that?
Yeah, what's he talking about there?
Right. So, like, imagine you're at an auction, right?
Okay, I'm with you.
It's not enough to just, like the painting.
Yeah.
You got to know who else is bidding,
Right.
how much money they've got.
Right.
And that's what he's talking about with liquidity. Who's got the cash ready to buy or sell?
So it's about understanding the players at the auction, not just the art on the wall.
Exactly. You can't just follow the herd. You got to know who's leading it and where they're headed.
I'm starting to see why people requested this deep dive.
So he's not just, like, playing chess. He's playing 4D chess.
Right.
He's trying to predict not just what these algorithms are going to do, but how everyone else is going to react to them too.
It's next level stuff.
Yeah.
And, the video we're deep diving on today, it focuses on what ICT calls a consolidation day.
Consolidation day. Is that like a real Wall Street term?
It's not some official term or anything. It's just, it's his way of saying the market's kind of stuck,
Okay, so it's like it's holding its breath or something.
Exactly. It's stuck in this tight range, not really going anywhere, at least until that 3 p.m. mark hits.
And then what? Everyone goes back from their coffee break. What happens?
That's when things get really interesting. Because ICT, he describes how these algorithms, they use that lull,
Sneaky.
they push the price outside of that tight range we talked about,
Ah.
and that triggers a whole wave of those stop-loss orders we talked about earlier.
Oh.
Suddenly, everyone's scrambling, right? Some people are selling, some people are buying, depending on which way it breaks out. And the price, it goes haywire.
So it's like those algorithms are setting a trap.
That's a great way to put it. And most traders, they see that choppy, uncertain price action and they panic.
Right. They're like, what's going on?
They sell at a loss, they get scared,
Uh-huh.
and that just reinforces the algorithm's control,
Oh, wow.
But ICT, he sees it as an opportunity.
So it's like he's the one guy in the horror movie who's not afraid of the monster in the shadows.
He's the one who knows the monster's patterns. He's not just explaining this after the fact either. The video, it actually shows him walking people through it live on Twitter.
No way.
Real-time analysis, guiding people through each step of the way. He even had his son trading the strategy with a real account.
Wait, his son? Okay, that's next level confidence. You're putting your money where your mouth is, literally.
Right. It adds this whole other layer of like, I'm not just telling you this, I actually believe in this enough to put my family's money in the line.
Totally. But can we talk about the multitasking for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Watching the market, predicting the moves, guiding his son, tweeting out his analysis. Like, how do you even...
It really highlights the mental stamina you need for this kind of trading,
Yeah, for sure.
Remember what we said earlier? It's like dancing with a robot.
You got to be one step ahead.
You miss a step, you're toast. And you know what else he mentions?
What's that?
He wants to try that new Twitter feature.
Uh-huh.
The, what is it called?
The live audio?
Yeah, the spaces. He wants to talk people through his analysis in real time.
Oh, wow. That's like having your own private trading floor.
Can you imagine listening to his thought process as it's happening?
That's wild. So for all of us who thought, like, algorithms were this unbeatable force.
It's about shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
They might be complex, they might be intimidating, but they're not unbeatable. And I think what ICT shows us is that it's possible to not just survive in this environment, but to actually thrive in it.
To, like, not just survive, but to win the game.
Exactly.
Like he's saying, hey, these algorithms might be playing chess, but I'm over here learning their moves.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the biggest takeaway for me. It's not about, like, beating the system or cheating or something.
Yeah, right.
It's about understanding the rules of the game.
Absolutely. And what I really appreciate about, ICT's whole approach here is that it's not just theoretical, right? Like he gives us these really concrete examples,
Yeah.
a real world look at how he actually puts this understanding into practice, He even talks about managing risk, which is huge.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't shy away from that. He's not just saying, like, go out there and make millions. He's acknowledging that losses, they're part of the game.
Part of the game, yeah.
It's about minimizing those losses when, those algorithms inevitably kind of do their thing.
Exactly. It's like he's saying, look, I'm not always right,
Right.
but I know how to protect myself when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the mark of a really seasoned trader.
For sure. So for anyone listening who's ever felt, like, intimidated by the market, maybe even thought, like, this whole thing is rigged, the little guy can't win, what's the one thing you'd want them to take away from this whole deep dive?
I think so often people, they come to the market and they're looking for that magic formula,
Yeah, the cheat code.
the one secret trick. But I think what ICT shows us is that the real secret is knowledge.
Oh, I like that.
It's about putting in the work
Yeah.
to understand how these systems operate so you can navigate them effectively.
It's like anything else worth doing, right? It takes time, it takes dedication, and it takes that willingness to learn and adapt.
For sure. And hey, maybe a little guidance from someone who's been there, done that.
Totally. Who's walked the path.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to think for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like ICT's approach, this is just one perspective.
Yeah.
The beauty of the market is there's no single right answer.
Right.
So develop your own understanding, your own strategies. Find what works for you.
Well said. That about wraps up our deep dive into this whole wild world of market algorithms.
It's a jungle out there.
We've learned how these things create opportunities, how understanding their behavior can give traders an edge, and maybe most importantly,
The big takeaway.
even in this world that's dominated by algorithms, human analysis is still key.
Still got to use that brain power.
Exactly. So keep those brains engaged, keep those charts handy, and remember, even with all these algorithms, you've got the power to navigate these markets on your own terms.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Happy trading, everyone.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.